Viewers, today is a very special day at the Ankahi Channel TV. My childhood friend Mansoor Abbas, who lives in Lahore at one Muslim town, he is visiting because he has his family. Two of his daughter lives in one in Houston, one in Dallas. And each time when he comes to Houston to visit his daughter, I have the opportunity to meet him. He is a close friend of mine of my childhood. He happens to be the youngest brother of the legendary film actor Darpan.
And Santosh
And his elder brother, Santosh Kumar. And more than that, he's just a friend visiting me. So since I started this Ankahi TV channel after my retirement for 55 years working as a medical doctor, let's capture our old time that we spent in Lahore.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we did at that time. Let's go back in time in 60s and 70s and 80s.
We can't discuss openly some of the things we've been doing, but...
No, I think the biggest fear a man has is when he wants to talk about himself. And we need to conquer that fear. Most people who are legendary people do write autobiography. And when you do that, when you do your own analysis, that fear...
Mostly, mostly
the fear, we must come over. Fear, let's not fear overtake us. Let's be transparent how the life was. And I still remember meeting with you, Naveed Bhai, Major Khalid, a legendary man, and the whole time that we spent in Lahore.
Yeah, we used to be together most of the times. We were like a family member. Once my brother, he cut his tongue and his senses was O positive and he had thin blood. Bleeding was not stopping. Then I called you.
Right.
You came over and then you fixed his problem.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he is talking about his elder brother, well known as Santosh Kumar. He called me at middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, after he has bled a lot. And when I came there and his wife, Sabiya Khanum, she said, Doctor, bachale. But I told my brother Mansoor, you need to leave me alone with your elder brother to do my job. This excitement of conversation may distract me what to do I am given. Hopefully, it took me 30 minutes, but we did control the bleeding and he was, mashallah.
And he was carrying my daughter, she was very small, in his lap when you were treating him.
Right.
And he won't leave her. You said, put her aside. She said, oh no.
Now, you started about Santosh Kumar. Tell us about this whole family. Where were you in before the creation of Pakistan? How did all your family get into the film business?
Well, I was born in Pakistan in one Muslim town, Lahore. But from my father's side, we are from Punjab, from Mochi Darwaza. And from my mother's side was UP. She belonged to UP. And my oldest brother, Santosh Bhai, known as, his real name is Sayyid Musa Raza. He studied in Nizam College, Hyderabad.
Right.
Lakhan. He graduated from there. He was preparing for his ICS because he was a topper in the college.
Right.
So what happened was there were vacations and he asked my father that he and his friends wants to go to Bombay and watch shooting. Since Mehboob and Kardar, they were my father's friends. So my father told them that my son would be coming with his friend to look after them. So when Mehboob Saab saw my brother, he said, you want to work in the films? He said, no. He said, well, nahi, I want to cast you in one of our films. Why? And if you said I'm preparing for my ICS competition,
Right.
I'm not interested. Then he called my father. Mahboob said that I want your son in one of my movies,
I see.
so you should convince him. Then my father said, well, go ahead if you have a choice. If you don't want to continue, but he's my friend, and oblige him. So my brother did that, and from that day onwards, then Lapran Bhai, he went, Sayyid Ishrat Abbas, he was fond of acting. My older brother was not fond of acting.
I see.
So he was fond of acting. He wrote a letter from my father's side to both the directors that my son is coming and he's interested in working in films. Give him a chance. And my father didn't even know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Then he was cast in Adle Jahangir. And at that time, Pradeep Kumar was the hero in that film and he was in the side role.
Right.
But when Pradeep used to come on the screen, so he got hooted. As compared to my brother standing in front of him, he had no place.
I see.
But Lapran Bhai was very dashing, blue eyes, fair complexion, and he was young and smart and healthy at the time.
Right.
So that's how it happened. And then when during partition, then they left it. Although he had a lot of chances working in Indian film industry, but they chose to come back to Pakistan. And then you all already know then how things.
You know, a lot of people say the people who are in the film industry, people who have filmed a lot of movies, especially those people who in the department of photography, it is said about your elder brother, Santosh Kumar, that you can shoot him from every angle.
Yeah.
His face was such a face that camera doesn't have to choose no angle.
Yeah.
He was
Because everybody
picture
got.
perfect.
Every person has a defect in his face.
Right.
And you have to avoid certain angles
Right.
to expose the person, especially an actor. So, but I didn't know that. Hassan Nisar is a very close friend of mine. He pointed out to me that he read in somewhere that there was an Indian cameraman or photographer, some Irani guy, and he was one of the best photographers.
Right.
Somebody questioned him that, have you ever seen a face which is, if shot from any angle, would look nice? So he said, I have not worked with that guy, but I know there's only one person, Santosh Kumar.
Yes.
If you shoot him from any angle, he looks handsome.
Yeah. He had a perfect picture, perfect face. Yeah. You know, this is a question a lot of people asked. Yusuf Khan, Dilip Kumar, he got best directors, best music directors, Mausikar-e-Azam, Naushad. For some reason, we had good poets who could write a lot of good songs. We had extremely good actors like your brother. We had reasonably good directors.
Yes.
But we never had a master or Shenshah of Mausikar. Because film, they get hit on these super hit songs.
But we had some hit movies based on music.
Yes.
Like Ishq-e-Laila, Mausikar.
Yes.
They were evergreen films.
Yeah, those are good films. Pakistan has got a lot of good films.
Where we lacked was the technology.
Technology, I see.
Otherwise, we had everything, but not the technology. And even in 90s, they were using airy cameras.
I see.
They were so heavy.
Heavy.
And the photographer, cameraman was holding on his shoulder. And then, even then, despite that, they gave good results. But had we had a technology-based and also institutions where actors can be produced,
Right,
like
right.
India had.
Right.
So whatever the actors in Pakistan are still doing today
Yeah.
is on their own
Right.
talent,
Right.
on their own skill. They're not proper institutions where they can get training like in India or any other country.
Right. But you know, right before I left Pakistan, the Urdu film industry has already begun to decline, which really declined later
Yeah.
on.
When Punjabi films took over,
Punjabi film took over, and
and they were based on mostly on violence.
Sultan Rai and Mustafa Qureshi's legendary Maula Jet
Yes,
and Vaishi,
yeah.
and so many others like that, which showed the culture
Actually,
of...
the trend changed.
Right.
Urdu movies were mostly based on family topics,
Right.
family issues, and they had altogether different texture and style. And when Punjabi introduced violence, the Urdu couldn't match it.
Right.
And people started appreciating violent movies.
Right. I think no matter what you say, the Urdu related movies in Bollywood did flourish.
Yeah.
But our from films in Pakistan in Urdu didn't flourish. But one thing which we saw, that the Pakistan television related dramas,
Yeah.
they consistently have
Yeah,
been improving. Now they are become
They
the...
became so popular in India that when our dramas were on air, there would hardly be any traffic on the road, and the videos used to be TV shows. Videos would be smuggled from Pakistan, and all the actors, all the public, they preferred watching PTV dramas.
So my question to you is, how come a TV dramas can go to those very heights and we couldn't do in Urdu films? And what is your take on that? That's a very solid question.
You know, Bollywood, or Lollywood, what do you call in India?
I think in
Bollywood?
India is Bollywood.
And
Here
we are Lollywood.
we call Lollywood. Oh, you can Pakistan film industry or Bombay film industry or whatever you want to call it.
If Indian film industry, you know, they were smart enough. They opted for latest technology. Then they introduced this music and action, and that picked up in the public.
Right.
And then they used the most modern technologies. The film had, and they spent so much. They invested so much in the movies, in billions,
Right.
and they had the market. They had the international market. India itself had a big market. So, if you they were investing more in that, but they were getting the returns. In Pakistan, we had a very smaller market. Even Pakistan, and there was very few cinemas and few turnover, so we couldn't invest more on the movies. Plus, in India, the Indian government had facilitated the industry in so many ways. Here, the entire risk was taken by a producer, whatever he invested, and he wouldn't get the returns. So, finance also played a major role. The economy played a major role. They had the international market. We didn't have an international market. So even if their film was not acceptable or it was a flop, they recovered the money.
I see.
So the producer could come up with another production.
Right.
Here, if the film gets flop, the producer is gone.
He
So-
wouldn't dare to start that venture.
Then he wouldn't be able to if he wanted to.
He wanted to.
So there are so many factors.
Yeah.
They had a big market. within India and internationally, we had a very small market. So even if you, like we made a film, in 60s, Gulfarb,
Right.
it was the most expensive film. At that time, movies were made in 2-3 lakhs,
Right.
and that was our own production. We spent around 9 to 10 lakhs. It was a super hit, but we could recover the money
Right.
because the territory was small
Right.
and the revenue, we couldn't get the revenue. Even our investment, although it was a super hit movie.
Right.
So that's how we got out of the competition.
Right. I remember, Mansoor, one time we invited, we all friends got together in Liberty and we saw a film. And guess what? Who was the hero? You. So
That's the joke.
we could get a box free. So we were all there watching you. But
I'm sorry.
did you carry
I
on?
disappointed you guys.
No, but you didn't pursue as Darpan did, or
No, I was never fond of acting.
You were never fond
Actually,
of-
I was being drawn into it by marhum Hassan Tariq. He was
I
the
see.
topmost director.
Right.
I kept telling him, I don't know how to act. I don't want to act.
Right.
And don't waste your time on me.
I see.
He would say, no, that's my problem. That's not your problem. I know how to take work out of you.
Oh,
I was so non-serious. I didn't take it seriously at all. I took it so casual.
okay.
And then I also decided on my own that I should be merciful towards the film industry. Not,
Spare the punishment of your acting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Allah is so kind that the other options I made an advertising agency. It was very successful. Then I went into manufacturing. Alhamdulillah, that was successful.
So you lived a normal life like we all did. I did medicine,
that's what
you
actually,
did business, you know.
You must be knowing that even at that time I was pretty much known in the public
Right.
because of my brothers
Right.
and because of my resemblance with my brother. So I never bothered. I would prefer sitting with you casually, or even on a dhaba or on
Right, right.
anywhere, not conscious that somebody is watching me, and that's what used to upset me, that I was being watched,
Right.
and I didn't want that.
Right.
And that was invading my privacy.
Right.
If I wanted to be normal with Asif or all my friends
Right.
and act normally. So I didn't want to be cautious that somebody is watching me, my behavior, my attitude.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural. People love celebrities.
Yeah.
People love these people who are related to them, brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, you know.
As you said, my brother, he was a legend.
Yeah.
He was soul hero for 19 years,
Right.
Santosh Bhai.
Right.
But that didn't go into his head.
Yeah.
He was normal. He never showed any attitude towards his fans
Right.
or admirers, or he had no hang-ups.
Right.
That's why people loved him more and respected him more.
Right.
And he knew how to carry himself. He had no scandals.
You know, Mansoori, you fell in love and got married, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us to our audience, how did all this happen? I know one day you called me, it was curfew, and you were on Gulberg Hotel, and you said, my wife is sick and I can't get out because of curfew, and I, being a doctor, had the pass.
And you came all the way.
Yeah, I know. And that's the way first time I met her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that, because I was a little surprised that you pulled on that on everybody and nobody knew that.
Actually, even my family didn't know that.
I know. Even I didn't know. I had a pleasant surprise when she got sick that you had to call me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah. We got married on the quiet. And then after a while, We were living in a family,
Right.
and I took a separate house,
Right.
and that shocked my brother, and he was upset that what has he done? If he wanted to get married, it would have been a good show.
Right.
He married on the quiet, and then he sent my bhabhi, and she said, "Your brother says, come home, bring your wife."
Well, how did you meet her?
Actually, I was shooting in Bari Studios, and she came with her friends to watch the shooting. And I was probably picturizing a song. So we saw each other, and then we got interested in each other. She had come from Karachi.
Right.
So then we met each other, and then she didn't go back to Karachi.
Why you actually made real life a film,
Yeah.
Dramatic. Didn't tell your brothers, didn't tell your friends.
Even my mother.
Your mother didn't know even.
Oh.
But she is a beautiful woman, very nice, your life partner.
Yeah, then she adjusted in my family.
Right.
And then she became more family than me in the family. Even if I would have some, we both would have some argument, and I would shout at her. My brother would, "Hey, shut up. Don't say anything to her." Yeah. Even if it was her fault, my family would be supporting her and not me.
Right. No, why it's good that before you shout on your wife, you should know if you have a daughter, if she get married.
That was at that time I didn't have
You need
children.
to think about these things. It can be mother, your brother, your sister, your daughter. Treat from that angle. If you think like that, you don't have to shout.
That change came when I had my first daughter, Aisha, and I totally changed, because before that I was aggressive,
right,
and
children change,
short-tempered. But when Aisha was born, then Allah gave me 6 daughters.
MashaAllah.
Then I was completely different. Then you realize that you think about a woman who's your wife, you want her to be treated like you want your daughter to be treated.
Right. I mean, they shouldn't be. I think people who get educated and civilized have understood that there is a role of a woman in man's life.
Yes.
She is your partner for lifetime. She raised your children. She is the same roof you sleep together. In my own judgment, the only person who will stand behind you is your wife.
Yeah.
Your children will marry. They'll have their wives. And they'll go there on their way.
Asif,
and in the end, the only person left with you is the better half you with. You better have a good understanding to begin with.
But Asif, what I have experienced, this, your wife is your life partner. She is always with you. She's behind you. But my daughters, they're always behind me. If we have an argument,
right,
they'll be on my side, and arguing with their mother, and I'm quiet. No, Mama, no, you were wrong.
Right.
Abu was right. It's your fault.
Why, you're blessed with 6 daughters.
Alhamdulillah.
I didn't have the opportunity of that. I have only 2 sons.
Yeah.
So when my son got married...
Daughter is a blessing.
Yeah, when my son got married, Ali, he had a daughter. And then he had children, both sons. So everybody else is male in my family except this small young girl. His name is Safa Ali Kadir. And she comes and tells me, Dada, I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with me? I said, whatever you need, my answer will always be yes. So she has... she and me had a close relation based on that.
She will start controlling you. You know, the daughters, they control their father.
Right.
And the family also, but the fathers also.
Right.
I mean, I like to be casual most of the times. But if I'm in Lahore and somebody takes a picture of mine in a casual way, my daughter Rabia will call, Abu ji, आपने क्या पहना हुआ था?
Right.
अबू ये कैसे ड्रेस अबू आप? अबू ये आपने चप्पल पहनी थी, शूज क्यों नहीं पहने थे? Oh, मैं क्या बेटा, leave me alone. No.
What do you think of women empowerment? You have 6 children, all daughters. What is your take on that?
I believe in that, in women empowerment, because, but within a drawn line, they should be empowered, but the line should not be crossed.
And who draws that line?
Well, they should draw themselves.
I see.
And that depends on the upbringing.
Right.
The upbringing you give to your daughters or sisters or the family, give them the liberty, but they should know at the back of their mind that this is the limit.
Right.
They can't cross that.
Right.
Because grace and piety
Right.
with empowerment,
It
I
comes
believe
from
that.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us, our viewers, where did you have your earlier education, your school
Well,
education?
I did my early education in Cathedral High School, Lahore, situated on Mall Road. We had a co-education. At that time, our principal and most of the teachers, they were Britishers. And then I did my graduation from Government College.
Government guy is Arabian?
Yeah, I'm a Ravi.
It's great to meet another Arabian. Listen, this sports has been a part of your life or not?
Yes, I used to play cricket, table tennis. Even in our school, we used to play baseball. But then I met an accident in 1971. I broke my leg. Both the bones, what you call femur.
You're right.
They were
Leg, the upper part of the leg is the femur.
Yeah.
Lower part is the tibia and fibula.
tibia and fibula. They both and femur were
So
broken.
lower leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took me 2 years to heal. I was on crutches for 2 years. And then it didn't, it's not in line.
Then it doesn't matter.
But it's,
So long as you unite, it really doesn't matter.
yeah, but it took a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because at that age,
Right.
I was young.
Yeah. The blood supply to that area of the bone is on the lower side.
Yeah.
So it always takes a little more time.
But at that time, there was no nailing or anything. They just
Right.
put the
Put them together.
ball together and put plaster on it.
Right.
And then I was young. 71 war. My friend Naveed,
Right.
he was on the border.
Right.
So they would send me the passport. Then I would go there with crutches,
Right.
spend the night there, and then I would play table tennis or any other games. With that, I got the heel fixed on my plaster.
Right.
I didn't rest, so it took
I
a
know
lot
you.
of time.
How would you rest? No plaster can keep you tied to the
At
bed.
age that was the age I was young, so but
Yeah, tell me.
then I got a spine surgery in 2011.
Right.
So, Alhamdulillah, it was a success.
Right.
But then you can't do things you used to do at your younger age.
But human being, when they live longer, they have issues,
Yeah, Asif, you also tell her when you're young, you're smart, tall, smart, handsome.
Yeah.
And then you would also be mixing up with film.
As a doctor, you got to treat everybody. I remember that when the legend film actor Maula Jatt,
Yeah.
Sultan Rai became my patient, I had to operate him. And it seems that after the surgery, he was fine. One day he called me, he said, Dr. Saab, I have to show you one of my movies. So he took me to a movie known Veshi Jatt. So we saw that movie. After the movie, I was quiet, and he asked me why you're quiet. I said, if I knew you are that kind of an actor, I wouldn't have dared to operate you. I'm lucky that I operated you and you look okay. Otherwise,
He was
but
hell of a-
I was surprised that this man
He
used
was
to
so
pray
humble.
and humble, down to earth. He would go to Hajj. And
You know, he was
way contrast.
such a good human being,
Right.
such humble. He would respect his elders.
Right.
You know, when he joined the film industry, it was through Darpan Bhai.
Right.
He told me that once that I used to stand on the gate of the studio, Avenue Studios, and
Right.
the guard wouldn't let me in.
Right.
So once Darpan Sahib was coming in his car, so I stopped and I said, I have to go inside, and he would let me in. He told me to sit in my car. Then I worked as an extra. Then I worked. I used to do duplicate of Darpan Sahib. And then I used to get food from his office.
Right.
Used to get, he used to, even if I was not working for him,
Right.
he would give me a lot of money
Right.
to live. And he remembered that.
He remembered that.
Once Sulaiman Bhai wanted to make a Punjabi film, and he sent me to talk to him about
Right.
the dates and money. I went there, and his drawing room, his living room was fully surrounded by producers. They were sitting in circle. He was sitting in the middle on the floor. When I went there, he stood up, gave me respect, made me sit next to him. And how, Shaji, किस तरह आए हो? मैं कहा यार वो सुलेमान भाई ने फिल्म शू करनी है ते आगा जी थोड़ी डेटा चाहिए ते अमाउंट दस दो हसन ला पिया कहना these guys they are sitting here ये 5 साल बाद ही डेट दे रहे हैं मैं I don't have any date so I kept quiet. They said, why are you quiet? I said, there's no point in talking now because
Right.
After 5 years, maybe my brother wants to make a movie, then he'll come or
Right.
he'll ask you. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. Everybody was sitting there. He said, Shaji, in my veins, I have got your namak.
Right.
दर्पण साहब ने मुझे खाना पीना मेरा सब कुछ करता है जब मैं कुछ भी नहीं था एक्स्ट्रा भी नहीं था
Wow.
so I still have that namak in my blood and you started off wrong. I said what did I do wrong? यार तू सानू कह रहा थी कि आगा कल शूटिंग है तू पहुंचना है
Pहुंचना. Wow. क्या बात हुई ना.
what a great man he
Great
was.
man.
Then I said, but still, you are a busy guy. No, how can you marry? That's my problem.
Right.
Just tell your director to just inform me that that day is the shoot and
I'll be
at
there.
flood such and such place. I'll be there.
Right.
You should have ordered me. You
Wow.
were requesting.
Great man.
I still remember those words, and I regard him so much for that. He was such a great man.
Great man.
Then I said, okay, what are your charges? He said, I charge 5 lakhs. It was very high amount, 5 lakhs at that, because even
Right.
Nadeem and all, they were taking 50,000, 75,000.
Right.
And he used to do 6 to 7 shootings per day.
Right.
And he was into every film.
Right.
So he said, yes, I'll charge you money. Like, you tell me how much advance you need, I'll manage that. At 2 rupees.
Wow.
I go, what the hell are you talking?
Only 2 rupees?
Only 2 rupees? कहता है, that is for Barka.
Barka.
कहता है, I owe your family a lot. I don't know, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Then that means you're not serious.
Right. Right.
Okay, then whatever Sulaiman Saab gives me,
That'll be okay.
that's his choice.
Great. I tell you.
And he did that.
Yeah.
And you know, one day he tells me the director was I can't say anything about him. He shot so much that one day when this Rice tells me, Shaji, ਇਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ 2 ਫਿਲਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾ ਲਿਆ ਹੈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਰੋਕੋ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜ਼ਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਫਿਲਮ ਜ਼ਾਇਆ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ
ਜੀ
ਤੇ ਇਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਟੰਗਾ ਚੌੜੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕੋਟ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਸੁਲੇਮਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨ
ਜੀ
then I told my brother ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ that's what Rai is telling me So Sulaiman Bhai said that, no, I will not interfere. Whatever the director is doing,
Let him do it.
let him do, because I never allowed any producer to interfere in my work.
Right.
So I am the producer, so I will not interfere in it. Mecca, but you're losing money.
No, but your brother Sulu was a principal director. He directed so many good films.
Yeah, and
But I
Sayyid-
tell you, this Sultan Rahi, when I left Pakistan, continued having communication with me, so much so that he would come to Houston and spend a week with me here. And during one time, he asked me, Dr. Saab, I want to learn professional English and I want to start working in Hollywood as an actor like Anthony Quinn.
Yeah.
And can you help me? So we kind of got together with some people and got him in touch in Hollywood, and he met Liz Taylor's manager,
Sorry.
Beck. So Beck, after meeting him, seeing his trailers and film, finally got him a contract. And that contract was a film, Dilber story, of a man who comes in a horse, like Sultan Rai is on the horse, and he is on Ohio River coming down, and everything in his way he is destroying it until he meets Paul Newman, his opposite, very well-known actor, and the duel begins. That kind of same Mustafa Qureshi, Sultan Rai duel type. Similar kind of story, but more on an English way. And then they said, give us 6 months to come to shoot. And that was a big problem for him.
Yeah, because he was too busy.
He was too busy back home and couldn't come. And
He was
that
such a
was
noble
but
man,
you know, for that he did take classes. I went to University of Houston. I arranged a teacher who could teach him English, how to pronounce an English dialogue. He spent 2 weeks doing that and improved a lot of it. And but because of this time and his too many shooting
Yeah, he was too
engagement
busy. He
in
was
Lahore,
too busy.
he couldn't do it. Otherwise,
He would hardly sleep.
yeah, good man.
But
Good
he
old
was
time.
such a noble person.
Right.
You can't believe when he died, there were thousands of people in his funeral.
Yeah, that's very
And most of them he was supporting widows. He was supporting their children,
Right.
educating them. And there were so many he would support, but it only came into light when he died, when the people came around, running and crying.
I still remember whenever I went back to Pakistan and he would come that I have come, he would call Ilyas Kashmiri and Mustafa Qureshi, and we all three would go to Kashmir Charga House, and Ilyas Kashmiri would make some special kebabs and we used to eat together. He kept up with me for a very long time, even though he was busy, but he spared time for me just because I was one time his doctor and operated
He was
him.
very humble and very noble, very down to earth.
Right,
And he prayed 5 times a day.
right,
He would sponsor the masjids.
right.
And if he's shooting in a very, very remote area and there's a masjid which is not alive,
Right,
he would go there, wash it, clean it, give azan,
right.
and then do Jamaat over there. I mean, the kind of roles he played, people could never imagine that he would be such a person.
Right. You know, the director Ilyas Iqbal Kashmiri, he was a director.
Yeah.
He was directing a film in which his role was more like a film known professionals in this America. And that was maybe 2-3 weeks after I operated him. And Iqbal Kashmiri knew the relationship. And one day he said, Qadir, I want you to act in films. So I told Rai, your director is after me. I'm a doctor. He said, Qadir, do everything, but don't do this thing. So he kind of categorically
amount
said.
of respect he would give my family, I
Right.
was amazed. I mean, I was in my college days.
Right.
We used to go to Murray in summers and spend a few months over there. So I was going with my friends on the mall and the post office. You must be knowing it was on the height.
Right.
I was climbing the height and he was coming down, and there were a lot of people are behind him, his fans. He saw me and he froze and he put his hand like that, and
Right.
I said, Aghaji, what the hell are you doing? Murshid, Shahji, I am your servant. I said, for God's sake, don't say you're older to me, and don't say that, don't do that. I don't like it, but I can't help it.
Right.
He would give the family so much respect. I mean, he was amazing.
Well, I'm glad that we remember him. I am curious that nobody has written or filmed a film on him. The amount of work he has done in Punjabi movies and helping the...
He's got his name in Guinness Book of Record.
Yeah, he told me that he has acted
More than 400 movies.
Close to 500 movies as a main actor.
Yes.
A record in the Guinness Book. So, but I think there should be somebody should write about a film on him. Sultan Rahi film, a legend of Punjabi movie in Pakistan. The phenomenon of Maula Jat, Vaishi Jat, and so many other.
Unfortunately, there is no archives of the legendary actors like Muhammad Ali Saab, Wahid Murad, Vidu Bhai, and all these. They contributed a lot.
No, these names are. We grew up with these names.
But
Wahid Murad was a chocolate hero.
Yeah,
You know that.
yeah.
And guess what? People still remember him.
Yes.
And Muhammad Ali, he was a legend.
Yes.
This man was so sweet.
Yes.
I think he used to call chandas, everybody.
Yeah, everybody chanda. Yeah.
No, I have never seen anybody got disappointed by Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Whoever went him, he will walk away with that person doing his job.
Yeah, actually, Ali Bhai was trained by my brother.
I see.
He used to be, most of the time, he used to be in a house,
Right.
especially in the 71 war.
Right.
So, Bhai used to correct him, Ali, don't do this, Ali, behave like this.
Right.
And he respected my brother so much that
Right.
he would never sit in front of him.
Right.
Would keep
He was
and he was
a
first
good man.
person when my brother died. The first person to arrive was Ali Bhai. He was crying and he was putting mats on the floor
Right.
and crying like hell.
Right.
I lost my brother. I lost my big brother.
These are all great people. I'm glad that we remember them as we remember.
They are worth
each other.
remembering.
I'm just having this conversation with you just to catch up with old times.
Yeah.
And this is a very fruitful conversation. Let me ask you a very personal question. What would you give a message to our youth, having lived in a very industrial, famous film industry and everything? Our viewers would like to know.
Well, whatever you do it with your heart, struggle, be serious, make a goal and try to achieve the goal. But in the process, never forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask His help, His support, and be consistent.
That's great.
Whatever you do.
Right. And never forget
your
your
goals
old
and
friends
go for
too. Never forget your old friends too.
Yeah, that old friends, they are the tonic.
Yeah, they're
They give you life.
Yeah, you're right.
They keep you going.
Right.
Yeah, old friends, they're the ones who really matter
Right,
after the family.
Right.
But at times they become more closer than the family.
Right.
You can open your heart to them. You can be, even if you don't meet them for ages,
Right.
but they are there.
They are there. We feel as where we left, we
Yeah.
begin from there.
We
again.
people, yeah.
Today
From
is
there.
Friday. It's close to
Yeah.
1 o'clock. Soon there will be a Jummah.
We'll go to the
I'm
Jummah
going to pray
prayers.
Jummah. He's going to pray Jummah. And guess what? We both are going to a mosque where Qari Sayyid Sadaqat Ali, the famous Qari from our Pakistan, is performing Jummah in Houston. He is visiting here for a workshop, for Quranic workshop, for Kirat. And we all friends are going to pray behind him today.
Allah.
And before we finish thing, we believe that our heart, which is full of love for Pakistan,
Yes.
that we'll say one loud ways, Pakistan
Zindabad.
Zindabad.